So it turns out we just have clips that show really what a horrible interviewer Brendan Schaub is and what a dimwit he is. But I think the first clip shines more of a light on Brian Callen, if I remember correctly.
Do you want me to play the Chetana first?
I think you'll see when it's appropriate. But this was a question. Just keep that clip in mind. The clip you're referring to, keep it in mind. Keep in mind Chet Hanks's rap lyrics. Keep in mind the fact that he used to go by Chet Hayes, and even now that he goes by Chet Hanks, he spells it with an X. Keep in mind that he's Tom Hanks' son and has a rap career and talks like he's from the streets. Just keep all that in mind when you're listening to Brian Callen point this question at him.
You know what I like about you, dude? I'm going to say this out loud. You grew up in Hollywood. You grew up with all the trappings, and you're not Hollywood. You did a good job of resisting the insanity and the embrace that causes you to be out of touch with reality. And I feel like you had this.
No, that's totally Craig. If I may, let's hear how realistic Chet Hanks has always been.
Big up the whole island, massive. It's your boy Chetana coming straight from the Golden Globe.
That's a realistic guy who's really grounded and knows where he came from.
Big tune.
It's honestly like if SNL was writing a joke script for them to ask him. And like I said, I think Chet Hanks has changed a lot. And I think this interview was kind of a good example of how he is now, I think, a little more grounded and realistic about himself. And he talks about how he regrets some of the stuff he did when he was younger. But the idea, it would be like saying to Britney Spears, like, you seem to have it all together.
He also came out with White Boy Summer last year.
Yeah, exactly. Now, that brand did sweep the nation. That had the country in a craze for a summer. So it's hard to argue the marketing. But my point is the idea of a guy saying Chet, it would be like right now saying to Kanye, like, your thoughts on race have always been right down the middle. I think you
nailing it.
Deep sense of
that clip or yeah.
Oh, sorry, what?
Was there more to that clip?
Oh yeah. There's a lot more.
Kind of understanding the dangers they're in. Maybe it's because your parents are good.
That was the other thing I want to point out. Their questions never end.
Never.
It's the longest. Like, let the guy answer, Brian. We understand the question. You don't have to give us 9 analogies for it.
You can see they do the interviews where the person they're interviewing often does the inhale like they're about to start talking and then just stop.
Yeah, Chet's checking his watch.
People, and they knew how to read.
You'd have to chalk it up to the parents, right? Shout out to your mom.
Yeah. Well, but it's also there's a limit to what parents can do. The kids got to
Hold on.
Most kids suck.
What does that mean? Brian is asking now. This is how dumb Brendan is that the shit I was giving Brian, Brendan says, hold my beer, if you will. I got this, buddy. I'm going to make you look smart. Because now Brendan has shifted the question to all children are dumb. Brian is specifically saying like, hey, Hollywood's a crazy place. You know, growing up in Hollywood must be pretty difficult, which is accurate. The idea that Chet Hanks was grounded as a child is utter nonsense. But the question is based in reality. And then Brendan says, oh, I understand what you're saying, B. Kids are morons.
Kids are so dumb.
Yeah, boy, you've really hit the nail on the head, Brendan, as usual. You've really pinpointed where this conversation was going.
Understand where he fits in the universe, where he fits in the world.
A lot of it's parenting, though, for sure.
Don't disagree with me, but no, but I'm kidding. But yes, it is. But it's also, as an individual, you go, hold on, I see the dangers over here. I'm going to move over here. Maybe music saved you.
Was it designed like that?
Music saved you, rich boy.
Maybe the idea that you were pretending to be from fucking Compton while your dad is Forrest Gump. Maybe that's what saved you as a man.
I don't know why that got me.
It's like you didn't want to be in that, like you saw what your dad has to deal with.
The credit definitely goes to my parents for how they raised me. Just because they're not.
Brendan, Rewind that, because Brendan is completely not getting it. He goes, "Oh, is that what you didn't want to deal with what your dad dealt with?" Chet Hanks is a musician and actor and hosting a podcast. He's not running away from the limelight.
Not at all.
This question is for if Tom Hanks had a son that was in finance that changed his last name so no one would know who he was.
I see the dangers over here.
Unbelievable that this was directed at Chet Hanks.
I know, kidding.
I'm going to move over here. Maybe music saved you.
Was it designed like this? Like you didn't want to be in that? Like you saw what your dad has to deal with?
The credit definitely goes to my...
Brendan, go watch. Obviously, you did a lot of prep. Go watch him with Rude Jude and tell me this is a grounded man. Why won't you let my boy hit up the vending machine, son? Rude Jude is like, well, Chet, because it's against the rules. Please sit down.
Parents for how they raised me, just because they're not Hollywood. They want to be like as low key as possible. They don't like doing any of that shit. They're very, very just under the radar. But also, there were kids that I knew growing up that would like the type of kids that would be like, do you know who I am? And that shit to me was just, I never related to
But it's
that.
not about that.
I was never that type of dude ever.
That's not what
I thought you were saying.
You were a little bit, but also this is what like kind of endeared me to Chet now is that he's like, hey, I guess, sure, these guys are blowing me. I might as well go with it. Yeah, I am a pretty grounded guy. But like I said, Chet was good in this interview. And I only listened to the first 40 minutes because it was getting pretty exhausting. But I thought he did a good job. Someone who did not do a good job is the gentleman sitting next to him. What's our next clip?
Outlaw.
But you're going to hear this word a lot. I think it comes up in the rest of the clips I have, somehow, amazingly. But again, this is Brendan with zero comprehension of what the conversation is.
Yeah.
You're almost like, when it comes to your family, you're almost like the dark horse. Like you're going to go your own route.
By the way, he is definitely trying to say black sheep, but said dark horse.
Thank you. You know what? I couldn't figure it out. It was like a Rubik's Cube in my mind. I was like, where does he mean to go there? Because dark horse doesn't fit. Yeah, clearly that's what he meant. The black sheep.
Yes.
It's like the dark horse. He's like the underdog. Why would that be the case?
The dark horse.
You're almost like, when it comes to your family, you're almost like the dark horse. Like you're going to go your own route. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're a bit of an outlaw in that sense. It'd be easy to go the
That's
other
like,
route.
I'm loving this. Yes, I'm an outlaw.
Did you hear me? He just goes, yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Brendan? You're right. I am an outlaw.
I am the man.
I am. That's what outlaws do. They use daddy's money to rent a recording studio. And piss all over the Sirius XM hallways when you're doing interviews.
Most of us think you'd go down.
Yeah, that's a cool way to put it.
Yeah, when it comes to Hank's family, you're the outlaw.
Yeah, I mean,
Your dad's like, yeah.
I just,
In what
yeah,
way? Even Chet is like, that's a cool way to put, because right there, Chet is talking about how like, he kind of regrets some of the things he did as a kid. Like he felt like he acted like an idiot back in the day and he's learned from that and he's matured. And so Brendan's perception of that is, oh, you were an outlaw. And Chet's like, that's a cool way to phrase it, I suppose.
Meanwhile, the same time he's like, if I could, I would change lives with my dad like right now.
But there's nothing in Chet's life that would suggest he's an outlaw. That Chetana thing is from like a red carpet event.
He does it a bunch, and he does it in his music.
Right. No, but what I'm saying is like he's going to. He's mingling with the Hollywood elite.
Right.
He's not.
Right.
He's not some rogue. He's not a cowboy. He's not a maverick.
White boy summer though.
It's not a bad thing.
Nah, I was just just
an inaccurate thing, Brendan. That's more the reaction you're seeing on my face, Brendan. It's more that I'm puzzled by the question. I don't think you're insulting me. I just think you're a moron.
He's like looking at his watch. Like, how long into this are we?
This is 5 minutes in, and they have about an hour and 40 to go.
I'm just being myself at the end of the day, you know. But at a certain point when I was younger, it's like I really wasn't being true to myself, because it's almost like because like I said, I was operating from insecurity, so I was really like overcompensating to like do bad shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Again, beautiful answer by Chet. An answer that if you were scripting, if you knew who Chet Hanks was a few years ago and you're his PR team saying, how do we make this guy more likable? That's the answer that you would have written. And Brendan's like, yeah, you get what I mean. You're an outlaw. He's like, no, kind of the opposite. I'm kind of saying I regret all of that.
This next one I like. It's endless improv.
This is fucking exhausting. How long? Do you have the exact time? How long is this clip?
This clip is minute 45.
See if you can hang in, guys, because this is one question. And I'm pretty sure in the clip, we don't even hear Chet's answer. This is Chet, mind you, on a pretty big platform. I think The Fighter and the Kid still does pretty good numbers. So he's on a pretty big platform promoting that he's going to do a podcast. And the guy he's doing the podcast with is there in the room, which I did not realize as a listener. Did not realize the guy was in the room because they did nothing to incorporate him. Great interviewers, really make you feel at home. Did nothing to acknowledge this guy. And Chet's like, oh, well, this is actually my co-host. That spurs the most bizarre improv I've ever heard in my life. Oh, you'll hear it. But Chet gives a pretty simple answer, and it launches into this.
Fuck it.
You're about to
it's
do a
2022. Yeah, we're about to release a podcast. My co-host right here, Josh Schaub.
We're going to call it Outlaws.
Gonna call it
No. Stop pushing. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Outlaws is not working.
Muscular.
Yeah. Outlaws.
I think it's just going to be called the
White
Chet
guys.
Hanks Show.
White guys.
I think it's just going to be called the Chet Hanks Show.
Yeah, he's like, hey, guys, I'm giving you an out. Here's the name. The Chet Hanks Show. Pretty simple. We don't need to spitball ideas. This isn't a brainstorming session. I know what I'm going to call it. We're how far into the clip?
8 seconds.
Okay, 8 seconds. So we got a bit of a long way to go.
I'm going to call it muscular.
Yeah. Outlaws.
I think it's just going to be called the
White
Chet
guys.
Hanks Show.
White guys.
It's going to be called Two Whites in Hats. This Thursday.
Two jacked
Coming to
whites.
Fox.
Called it Jacked and White.
Just what
Jack changed it to a television show.
This is also
It's now a podcast this Thursday coming to Fox for some reason.
It's just also a problematic thing they're going to go down. Please don't.
But there's no reason for it.
Yeah.
Chet did not say, hey, like we're two, bros talking about bro stuff. He didn't. All he's talked about so far is how he has learned from his past mistakes and he has changed as a guy and he wants to be more of an adult now. And that's what spurred this improv, is this evolved man you see before you. A guy that we used to mock, that we're saying is genuinely seems like he's a grown up now. It took him a while to mature because he was a kid in Hollywood, but now he's in his 30s. He seems like an adult. And for some reason, let's go back to the beginning, actually, because I want you to get the full scope of how nonsensical this rant is.
Fuck it.
You're about to
it's
do a
2022. Yeah, we're about to release a podcast. My co-host right here, Josh Schaub.
We're going to call it Outlaws.
Gonna call it muscular.
Yeah. Outlaws.
I think it's just going to be called the
White
Chet
guys.
Hanks Show.
White guys.
It's going to be called Two Whites in Hats. This Thursday.
Two jacked
Coming to
whites.
Fox.
Called it Jacked and White.
Just what America can't get enough of. Two whites in hats.
These guys
You're talking real.
He's literally, I'm sorry to stop, but Brendan is literally mocking them for starting a podcast.
Also, it would be like if I was like, oh, you're chubby and you have a dumb beard to cover your fat face. It's like, Brendan, who do you think you're describing?
That's what he just said. He goes, that's what America needs. Two whites in hats.
Yeah, two white guys. Yeah, Brendan, you're not a bro at all.
Fucking
you don't come off like a jacked bro douchebag. It's good that you're making fun of Chet for this and not looking in the mirror at all.
These guys are straight, white, and jacked.
Root for them.
Just have my face introduce them. These guys are straight.
Was it?
How do these two think people see their podcast?
I have no idea.
Like, who do they think they're making fun of?
They're literally making fun of themselves at this current time.
It's as if they were in a mirror shop, and we're like, look at these two assholes, and just go on a rant about themselves for another minute and a half.
So Chet Hanks is wearing a Detroit Tigers hat.
What a piece of shit.
Schaub is wearing a San Diego Padres hat.
Now that's much cooler. Don't you see the difference? It's much less of a bro town, San Diego.
Yeah.
There are many more bros in Detroit.
It's true.
White and jacked.
They like to work out.
Yeah.
You think they're just bros. That's just the tip of the iceberg.
That's right.
This Sunday on Fox.
Watch these
I
guys.
can't emphasize enough. Bro culture did not come up once before this.
Not a single one.
It was never suggested that this would be a podcast about bro culture.
Well, it is now.
It has to be now.
People are now, because this is promoting it, they're going to go listen.
It's all in the marketing. Yeah.
This isn't what I was told it was.
It's Chet having philosophical discussions.
Yeah.
Like, this is bullshit.
He's talking about like the struggles of growing up with his dad being who he is, and
Right.
they're like, dude, this isn't like gangster.
We got a long way to go. We can't keep interrupting this.
That's true.
We got about 9 years left on this clip.
This clip has a minute left. I'm just gonna play it.
Simpsons. It's Chet Hanks.
Chet Hanks. Watch these guys curl in slow motion and bonus footage when they spot each other.
Oh, did we mention they have 8-inch cocks?
Hey, whoa.
Wait, that's BT late night.
Today's leg day, these guys go ass to grass.
This comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
We're talking about flexible fucking
These
hips.
guys ride a motorcycle nuts to butts. And they go fast.
They're gay now? I don't know.
What's his last name?
Apparently.
Ah, Hanks and Stroh.
Stroh.
What's your first name again? Fucking
Stroh.
Chet and Josh. You guys make up your mind.
This Thursday, they're strowing it up.
Fuck, the testosterone meter hits red hot.
Insisting that it's Thursday.
I don't know. He thinks it's a commercial.
Next Tuesday, they're going to work out without their shirt.
Ass to nuts. These guys don't play around. Get low. Let me spot your hips.
I wonder if Chet was like, are you done calling me gay?
Well, that Chet just leans into it and he goes, yeah, you're pretty accurate. That's pretty much what it's going to be.
I don't think
So like he at least had fun with it, but I would be infuriated. Like, what is this? Are you guys just calling me a douchebag to my face?
why am I here? And then of course Schaub's doing that, yeah, bud voice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't the improv skills of Brendan to be like, this is now a television show for some reason. And then to twice say Thursday, the Tom Myers precision he shows. To twice say Thursday and then change it to Tuesday for some reason. They're already changing nights, which, as you know, is never good for a television program.
My favorite though is the guy's name's Josh Stroh. So Schaub was like, yeah, this Tuesday we're strowing it up.
We're strowing it up. Oh, Brendan gets excited. Oh, is that name ripe for improv?
Stroh, dude?
Stro? Gang, buckle up. You got to wait to see what I do with Stro.
I'm going for a stroh down the beach, dude.
It was an exhausting improv. When I was time stamping that, I couldn't believe how long it was lasting. I was like, oh, that'll be a quick 20 seconds to make fun of, maybe 30.
No.
And it just kept going and going. It was exhausting.
Callan too. He just got like that excited face. And at least he was trying.
I guess they play along with each other well. Like if that's funny to you, I get why you like these guys.
Because it's a lot of that.
You know what I mean? Like they have good chemistry if you enjoy that.
Keep in mind,
yes, it's a lot of that.
I did enjoy going to Brendan's show. I want to just say that again.
I think the nation did. I think we changed what it's like to go to a Brendan Schaub show for America.
I just wanted to say that out loud again. In case he, for some reason, comes across this, don't punch me in the head.
Yeah, come on, Brendan. Come on anytime. We love you.
Oh, yeah. All right, never mind. It'll be after this. I'll talk about it.
What's the next clip?
A compliment that goes over Brendan's head.
Oh, the perception on this guy is unmatched. Brendan's depth perception with questions. Like his perception as far as ability to pick up questions is as good as my actual depth perception. It is staggering to me the inability this guy has to pick up on where people are going.
Your dad doesn't do a lot of interviews. I want to know what's going on. I didn't recognize the guy for
That's
the first.
what I mean. They're on.
So hold on. Go back to the beginning of that so we can hear it all. But with that question, first of all, it's a little too nice by Brian Callen because I've heard it was the most atrocious performance of Tom Hanks's career in that Elvis movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
But Brian's being nice, and what Brian is saying, this is a compliment to an actor. He disappeared into the role. He's saying, when I watched that Elvis movie, no idea it was your dad. That's how amazing an actor he is. Like, I've watched this guy for 30 years, and when I turned this movie on, I didn't realize it was him. Very nice compliment to pay an actor. And this is what Brendan thinks of that comment.
Your dad doesn't do a lot of interviews. I want to know what's going on. I didn't recognize the guy for
That's
the first
what I mean. They're on
30 minutes
super
of
low key,
Elvis.
under the radar.
Well,
you know,
I didn't recognize him for the first 30 minutes. I swear to God.
Retarded, right?
No,
he
come
was
on.
wearing a
dude.
fat suit.
He was wearing.
What did he say?
He's retarded. He called Brian retarded.
Oh boy.
Saying, hey, Chet, can you listen to this mouth breather? He didn't know it was your dad.
Oh boy.
And then he continues to not pick up on what Brian meant.
A fat suit, but that was very good.
Your dad could be an avatar, and I would know it's fucking Tom Hanks.
That'd be some shit.
When I look at Woody on Toy Story, I'm like, that's Tom Hanks. He puts on a fat suit. Brian's like, I'm trying to figure out, is that Tyrese? Is that Morgan Freeman?
I thought it was Megan Thee.
When I think of your dad, Chet, I think Jason Alexander.
I
think all I can think of is one role. That's how bad an actor he is.
This is Brian Callen being the best friend you could possibly have. Because
Brian Callen is a great friend. When you hear him, when he was on like Legion of Skanks defending Schaub and shit, like he's a ride or die guy.
No, I just rewound it a few seconds. Listen to this. You can hear Brian go to like play along, and even he's like, "I'm just not gonna."
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Is that Morgan Freeman?
I thought it was Megan Thee.
All right, I'm bailing on this.
He's like, I thought I was making that. Never mind. Fucking
hitting the ejector button.
Get me out of here.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Like Brendan just has no ability to pick up on. Like he calls his buddy retarded because he says, "Hey, Tom Hanks really loses himself in his work." Now.
Yeah, that would have been great. That would have been great if he was like, "Why? Because I defend you."
Yeah. Like as I say, you don't cheat on your wife. Is that why I'm retarded, Brendan?
I somehow passed a lie detector test saying you were funny.
That I respect your comedy. Yeah. So, like the problem that Jason Alexander is one of the better examples. The problem he has in Hollywood is that like when you look at him, all you can see is George Costanza. So Brendan's compliment to Tom Hanks is, if he were in a cartoon, I would know it was him. This guy sticks out like a sore thumb. He can't disappear in the magical world of Avatar. I'd be like, that's Tom Hanks. Brian's paying one of the nicest compliments you could give an actor. Like he disappeared into the role. I had no idea it was him after 30 years of fame.
He's so dumb. He's so dumb.
It's wild. He has like no grasp on reality anymore. I don't think. Like there are little things he does. Like I believe the next clip where I'm like, oh, this is him trying to be self-deprecating. I think
The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I believe this is Brendan trying to be self-deprecating, kind of in like a Stuttering John way, where it's like he pays himself a compliment by saying, I'm sorry, he insults himself by saying, hey, someone else paid me a compliment. Aren't they dumb? Huh? Wouldn't it be crazy that they thought this?
Someone said I was the best comic they've ever seen. How stupid are they, right?
Well,
then he'd be right, but...
His ass is on the
if
line.
anything,
Yeah,
it can work
exactly.
against you because, like, I always say this. Like, people say, why don't your big director friends hook you up? Hey, here's how it works. You write a script. It takes 2 years, 3 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Then you finally get financing. There's one role that was written specifically. There's a.
If I may again, I forgot how far off. I thought I just clipped the actual comment that he makes. Mm-hmm. I forgot how far off Brendan is in this clip yet again, where these two guys, like, you know, whatever you think of Callan, he's been a working actor or was a working actor for a long time. I don't know what happened that stopped that.
Something happened.
I can't remember. And Chet Hanks, I've seen him in a couple of things. He was in Your Honor and he was in Shameless, and he was pretty good in those. Like, I think he's a pretty good actor. So you're talking to like two working actors that know what it's like. And what they're asking Chet about here is like, people think that you're getting opportunities because of your dad. In some ways that actually works against you, because people have, you know, their mindset on what a certain role is. When they see you, they might be like, oh, this is Tom Hanks's kid, and not think you fit the role. So that's what they're talking about. And then you'll see where Brendan takes it.
And that decision is made by committee. You walk in that room, you've got to win that group over.
Yeah.
And so I don't give a fuck who you are. You're competing with everybody in the world, everybody in Ireland, the best of the best. Mm-hmm. So you go in there, they have an idea. The writer, the director, the producers all have an idea. It might be a different idea, but it's the person that walks in the room and is undeniable, where they all go, fuck, he changed my mind. Yeah. I thought the role was this, but it was it.
Yeah.
That's the person that gets the role.
There's so many moving pieces.
Yeah, but
I remember when Batman was coming out, my mom called me. She didn't know Hollywood. She's like, I just don't understand why you're not the next Batman. I was like, click.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
It's a lot. And
shut up, Mom.
God.
Mom, you're so embarrassing.
That bombed hard in the room, too.
It really did. Chet was just moving on. And the greatest thing about this clip is it makes me think like, I can't believe I'm saying this. I would like to hear a one-on-one interview with Brian Callen and Chet Hanks.
I would love it.
Like, it might actually be really interesting.
It might be. Honestly, any podcast that he's on, if it was just the other guy and the guest, it would probably be pretty good shows.
And then Brendan comes in like an attention-seeking 5-year-old and just stomps all over it. Like someone finding bubble wrap laying on the ground. Brendan comes in and just doof, doof, doof.
This show
all over the place.
This show is so fucking popular too. Like,
it's wild how popular it is. Although if you go on Reddit,
it's not.
You might see that people are listening with the same ear that we are. You know,
that's true.
I think people are listening for different motives sometimes. But yeah, it's insanely popular. Whether or not we get it, they've done a tremendous job building up an audience. But it's like, Brian is asking this very succinct question. Hey, Hollywood has, one idea of what you are. People think that might benefit you, but in some ways it can hold you back because they don't see you fitting the role. Their mind isn't open to it. And Brendan's interpretation of what that question is like, yeah, my mom thinks I should be Batman.
She doesn't know Hollywood.
Yeah. And then he thinks he's going to relate like, right, guys, isn't my mom dumb?
Imagine if I want him to be Batman so fucking bad now.
The trashing he does of his mother, like we've broken down clips of his stand-up and shit where he talks about his mom.
Yeah.
It is, if you're calling Brendan a bro, it's so accurate. Because it's fucking, Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers. Like, just complete disrespect of this poor woman that probably did everything, probably babied him his entire life.
I like the idea of Batman as Brendan Schaub. He sees the bat symbol. He's like, I gotta go see Commissioner Gordon, Papa.
Oh, what do you think? What do you think that is, bro? What do you think they're shining that for?
Oh, for real? I'm going to touch the Joker's hips, dude.
Joker, fucking come on, guy. What's your deal?
You need to chill out, bro.
You want to eat some pico de gallo?
Yeah. So I saw the Joker the other day and he was like, hey, Mr. Wayne.
That would work in The Dark Knight, I think. There were a few Asian characters. He could have done that voice.
Like the Joker. He saw that his jacket was made in China, so he just thought he talked like that.
They think I can't fuck with the Riddler. What are they doing, guys?
That would actually be fucking great. If
This is the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah.
His mom is onto something. He's calling her a dumb bitch.
Yeah,
I think Mrs. Schaub knows what sells.
the whole thing with the Riddler, though, is it's based on Batman solving the riddles, and I don't think that's going to happen.
No, wait, hold on a second.
They go somewhere.
I think what he means is that Tom Hanks sticks out like a sore thumb in movies.
That'd be great. He thinks he solves a riddle, goes to the location he thinks, and then on the other side of town, you see a giant explosion.
Yeah. I think it means Brian's retarded. Is that what this riddle means?
Bro, I'm going to figure this out, bro.
I wish, if you think people criticized Christian Bale's Batman voice. Oh, yeah, guy.
Do you like my Batma whip?
What do you mean, B?
Brian Callen's
Alfred A.
Brian Callen's obviously Robin.
Rogan is just Morgan Freeman's character.
Rogan's the Riddler because they can't get through to him.
What do you mean it's a joke? Why is that funny?
Yeah, dude, like the riddles that Rogan leaves are just protein powder recipes.
This is Mrs. Schaub knows how to put asses in the seats.
I need this to happen so
She's
bad.
raised a guy that will half fill Laugh Boston, but she knows how to get people into a theater.
This
It's a brilliant idea.
is a great idea. Oh, fuck.
Do you want to come to my truck? Can I walk you back to the Batmobile?
You know, I got this role because I saved a kid on the highway once.
Brendan, you have two choices. Save Harvey Dent or save Annie Letterman. He's on his fucking motorcycle.
It cuts to him with Harvey Dent.
We're like, oh shit, he chose Harvey.
She talks shit, bro.
Kalila the villain.
She's Catwoman.
I understand you've been making fake accounts on Reddit.
Turns out that seems to be kind of true. I'm still Team Schaub in that.
Well, he's the good guy, so it has to be true.
That's true.
He's the hero that we all needed.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure like people will start digging up her talking about being a sleuth on the internet.
Yeah,
and it just keeps coming. I'm like, yeah, see, he's right. Kalila sucks.
Oh boy, do I want that movie to happen.
We're gonna go into the tiger belly of the beast.
I love the idea of now instead of Rogan, Bobby Lee being the Riddler. Because he would do the accent that Schaub wants to impersonate.
Yeah, he's gonna talk like he normally does, but he's gonna be like, "What do you get when you mix two?"
Yeah. Bobby's like, "Here, I've got a riddle for you to solve," and Brendan's like, "I can't understand this guy.
I need a translator.
I didn't play an English riddler.
I don't get what you're saying, Baba.
I had a trainer that spoke like you once. Here's a great joke about him."
It's a Family Guy flashback to his set.
The movie, after he saves Harvey Dent, there's a 10-minute bit about how he has a mountain lion in his backyard. Everyone's like, this is what they're closing with?
He's like, Brendan's going to be like, yeah, I'll take the role, but only if the cup size on the bat suit is gigantic.
The amount of hours they would spend talking about how that suit makes his package look.
And by the way, Don't think I don't understand that we were making fun of them riffing for a long time and then doing 5 minutes on this.
We don't have a guest sitting here waiting to finish.
and making fun of him directly to his face.
Yeah. Brendan's not sitting here like, all right, guys, are you done?
If Schaub was here, it would be like, yeah, man, you could be Batman.
I think you should be Batman, actually. Like, I think you're hotter than Christian Bale for sure.
Yeah, you got better abs.
And honestly, I think you're a better actor.
Honestly, no one's going to get distracted by the cauliflower ear.
Yeah.
I can see ladies just falling all over you. You look good in a suit. You already act like a billionaire.
Oh, I honestly hope I never get to interview Brendan Schaub because everyone would just realize what a pussy I am. Dude, I don't get what everyone gives you shit for. I think you're really funny.